Hi again, this is Greg Mailer, the designer of Tournament Fishing, the deck building game, and I'm going to be playing another solo run through today on Tabletop Simulator. I did another one yesterday that did the normal lake setup, and today I'm going to run through the river arrangement in the rules, the variant on the lake, and basically it's just trying to simulate a river, an actual river that's the water's moving downstream. So let's go ahead and shuffle everything to start off, and this time I'm going to use this deck over here just for some variety. The starting decks are slightly different. The arrangement of the symbols in the symbol pane for countering the dice are slightly varied, as well as each deck has one runner or dropper lure and 3 live bait lures, and they're also color coded. So if you look at this one, it's got red names, and so the red lure in this one will be different, unique, and then the black named one will have a black lure that's unique. The yellow will have a yellow, and then the green will have a green. So that's kind of how the starting decks are different. So it does add a little bit of variation to use the different ones. So I'm going to try the red one this time. Let's shuffle it, and let's change our color. Alright, let's draw 5. Okay, put out the bait shot row. And the good thing about this variant is that you don't have to deal out all of the cards. You only have to do one row, so that makes it kind of nice. However, this is the third game I've played this evening. I did 2 test runs to make sure to prepare for this video, and I've lost both. The last one was pretty close, but this one definitely is much more difficult, as I explained in the actual rule book. If you want it to be even more difficult, use this variation. It's more random. It's harder to kind of plan out what you're going to do because the lake is changing so much, or the river is moving, the AIs are moving stuff, and it just becomes very hard to plan out anything. You have to go more by the seat of your pants, so it's a little bit harder. So let's go ahead and deal out our rods and 2 boats. And I changed this up slightly because I started thinking about it, and I was like, the order of how you do the rods versus the boats is not quite clear on the card. So I changed it up a little bit to where you get to look at all this stuff. So essentially, I can flip over it all. I can delete these, delete, and then I can look at what I want and pick the 2 that would sort of jive the best together. Or so let's look at this first one. You give you a base of 1 power, and you get to ignore all the reroll symbols on a fish. This one gives you +1 to any actions you play during the cast phase, and a base power of 2. This boat, anytime an effect would allow you to draw a card, you may choose to draw the top card of your discard pile instead. And then the fish and ski boat, if a fish has the reroll symbol, you may reroll any 1 fight die. That actually might combo pretty well with this one, because you get to ignore their reroll, but they still have the reroll. It doesn't get rid of it, and this would allow you to also reroll a fight die if they have it. So that would be kind of doubling up on dice mitigation. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So once again, let's flip over this one and use that for our live well, like we did on the last video. And I'm going to go with the steady rod. I'm wondering if I should do that. Now that I think about it, I might go with this other one because yeah, okay, I'm gonna go with this one because I don't want to focus too much on mitigation. By the way, last time I deleted this, but on the back side, if you flip them over, they have a nice handy turn reference that goes over each phase and gives you some useful information so that you don't have to keep referring back to the rule book as you're learning. And I'm going to put that over here. And then let's go ahead and put our boat right here. Fish and ski boat. I looked up these boats as I was designing them, and a fish and ski boat is actually a real boat. Go look it up. It sounds kind of strange, but I guess this type of boat, I'm not hugely familiar with this type of boat. We used boats growing up when I was fishing, but it was more like your typical sort of tin, what would you call that? Sort of like a canoe type boat. And on these type, we would ski, we would use inner tubes, but we never really fished too much out of these. We would do some trolling. But anyway, it's a fish and ski boat. Okay, so we got everything set up. It looks like we drew our hand, and now, I don't know why I did this, but this is the first angler card. I guess I got a little bit ahead of myself. I went ahead and drew it, and from yesterday, we're going to the top portion. We're going to delete the third and fourth position, and then he's going to catch the very first spot in the lake. And it's only a 4-point fish, so that's actually good. 4 is not too bad. Now we look over here at the clock card. We have -2 to our cast this turn, so that's going to counter our rod. We have 0 power. Look at my hand. I've got 3 lures, a green, black, and a yellow, and I've got 2 actions, present actions. One of them boosts runner lures, and one gives an extra boost to dropper lures. And all the lures I have in my hand are live bait, it looks like. So, interesting. Now you are allowed to cast even if you have negative power, as long as you play 1 lure. And remember from yesterday's video that you have to have the lure to start your cast phase. So we do not have any thing for the search phase. We don't have any cards to do or any effects to trigger, so we'll move to the cast phase. It's optional as well. I could just skip it and use all my cards to go to the buy phase. And so I can look up here. I've got a lift, hook action, 3 power, and then in the real phase you can flip any 1 fight die, which flipping is very powerful in this game because you have pretty much direct control of which dice you can flip, and sometimes you can use that to like flip it to a blank, and it makes it very powerful. So it's slightly more powerful than a reroll. The spinnerbait would allow us to get a green and a red, so a dual color, and if there's a fish that you get 6, that's 6 or higher, you get +2 to your cast, or to your angler power. And then we got the trusty frog over there. I used that a lot last time. So let's see. That's $3 and $4. Well, how about, man, I really think having that lift is going to be pretty nice, especially because it combos off of this one. Because actions gain +1, so this is actually giving me 4. So maybe I will play my yellow minnow, and since I only need 3, might as well do that. But nah, I'm just going to go with this. I have 0 power because of that, and yellow, and I'm just going to see. Now, this river variant, what happens is at the end of there's an added step to the cleanup phase here at the bottom, the last step. You take this very last card, whatever it is, whichever one it ends up being, the very last one in the row, and you put it in the discard pile over here, and then you slide everything down and you fill up from left to right. So the river's kind of coming downstream. And the discarded cards that come over here, if you ever need to refill this, you can just shuffle these back up and just return it over here to the draw pile. And that's how that works. So I know that this one's going to be gone this turn. So it would be kind of pointless to cast there because it's going to be gone and I have 0 power, so I have no chance of catching it. This one is it's still going to be there. So let's, well, unless it's a Vanna or something. So we have a 9 red fish, a walleye, which is a species of pike. 9 red, I don't really think I'm going to be able to generate 9 power next turn, but we'll see. At least we know it's there. And that's the thing about this. Like, if you remember last time, in the last video, I could say, okay, the 9 is there, and I know it's going to be there for a while. So I can sort of, gather my forces up. And this, you don't have very many turns because this river's coming downstream, so you have to kind of go a lot quicker. So knowing that, I'm going to look at this one here. I'll probably forget, so I'll look at this one. A 3 black. 3 is definitely, I could have gotten 3 this turn, but I didn't know it was there. So let's flip it back. So there was a 9 red, 3 black. And this one's going to be gone. So now I move over to I skipped the reel phase because no fish bites or bit my lure, and so I will go down to the buy phase. I get to discard cards to purchase, and I wanted to get that lift. Now the spinnerbait is actually a good one too because it'll boost my power, but I don't know, I think I'm gonna go with the lift because I can get some dice mitigation, which I like having dice mitigation, so I'm gonna go with that. I need only $3, so I have to discard 3 of these. How about I keep the green one? Because I don't really want that 3 black. And I'll discard these 3. And I have to keep this in my hand. In this game, if you don't spin the card for money, or discard the card for money, or to counter a dice, or to use for its main action here in the center, then you have to keep it in your hand. You can't just get rid of it. And when you're buying cards, you can't overspend just to get rid of card. You have to purchase money for money. And if you happen to overspend, like if you had a card that generated 3 money and the card only cost 2, then you can overspend in that way. You would just lose the dollar. But you couldn't do like a 2 and a 1 to pay for a 2. You would have to keep that 1 in your hand, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's go ahead and move to the cleanup phase and discard everything we played. Draw back up to our hand size of 5. Refill the bait shop. And as part of this setup, we discard this one, slide everything down. So now I know that 9 red and 3 black are here. So they move on you in this one, and your memory is going to be tested even more in this variant. This one is harder. So let's see what the AI does in this second turn. It's going to delete that card, and then I get to remove from the game any fish I want. Well, that 3 black I don't necessarily want, so I don't know. I might keep it there though, because it's good to know it's there. That one's going to get removed at the end of the turn anyway. I might try to go for it, but I don't know if I can generate 9 power. Let's see what this is. Discard a card to draw a card. Okay. Let's just do this one. Because remember, this action down here where it's got question marks with red means it's your choice of which lake spot that the AI removes the top card from. So I'm going to choose this spot. I don't know what it is, so an 8 green. Okay. So that one's gone bye-bye. So let's see if I can generate that 9 power. I get to discard a card to draw a card in the search phase, which is the first part of your turn. I have a red lure, and that's the popper. That's the one card, since the names are red, That's my one lure that's more of a permanent lure, and it's got a runner type. So let's see. Now my heavy action rod gives me +1 to any actions I play. So like the pitch is going to actually give me 3, the lift is going to give me 4, and I get a base of 2. So that would be 4, and 4 is 8. I would need one more to try to even get that one. What does this thing do again? If a fish has that, you may reroll. Oh, okay, so we got even more dice mitigation. I forgot what that one did. So let's see. Let me use this effect to discard that and draw a card. Hopefully I can draw into something that gives me some power. Okay, so I did get one that gave me some power, but here's the problem. A hook action, you can only play 1 per turn. Now you can play 1 per turn. You could use it for its money or its dice countering, but you can't play more than 1 per turn. So you got to keep that in mind. I have to choose one of these. That 9 is I cannot attract it at all, if my math is right. No, but I do have the tackle box, and so that might be my saving grace. Let's play it. And it says look at the top 3 cards, and then take one in my hand and put 2 of them back in any order. So let's draw that one, put it over here so I know which is which. Flip it over, re-roll, and then we're going to draw 2 more. Okay, and I get to keep one in my hand. Remember, I only need 1 more power. So either one of these will suffice. So I'll go ahead and just keep the pause and put it back like this. And then we're going to move on to the cast phase, and I'm going to throw out the red. I'm going to put out the pitch, and then remember these hook cards you save until the very last moment. And here's the thing, like I'm already overextending myself, so I'm probably not going to. I do have 2 ways to mitigate, but I don't think a 9 power fish doesn't even have that symbol, so I won't be able to use the fish in the ski boat for that. The only mitigation I'll have is that one. Flip any 1 die. And of course this backup here. So I have a decent decision. I think I'm going to just keep this one back in my hand. Go with a power of 5 power right now, red. 5 power red, and then I can boost it up with either one of these hook actions. So I know that 9's there. I think the 3 black is there. Let's see what this is. Let's cast 3 green. Okay, and I have 5 red. So then let's go here. 8. Now that one does have the reroll symbol, and it only rolls 2 dice. So that I have a better chance. So let's see the math here. I have 5. I would need to generate 3. So how about this set has a +1 because of my heavy action. So as a reaction for the special of the hook card, I'm gonna set the hook on this alligator gar. Since I have the correct lure and I have sufficient power now, I have hooked him. He's took the bait. So now we're going to roll these 2 dice, and he does get to re-roll any blanks if he gets any, and he does not. Now the fish and ski boat says I may re-roll any 1 fight die since it has that symbol. So I want to see if I even want to. It looks like right now I have the red and the yellow in my hand already. So I could just discard these 2 and be done with it. And I would already catch an 8-point fish, and I believe that's what I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to gamble trying to re-roll one of these and then mess up and not be able to catch it, because this is pretty good at getting an 8-point fish this early. So I'm going to just be happy with that. And you know what's really awesome about that too, I didn't know it was there. So I cast it into that, and I got lucky that gar was there, took my bait, and that's what I love about this game, is that you'll have moments like this where you just cast and you don't know it's there, and then just like in real fishing, if you've ever fished before, you don't know if anything's there, but you're hoping that something's there that's going to bite your lure, and it's just kind of like the game, and so it's just a lot of fun for me, just because I like fishing, and I like how these mechanics just mirror that. And so anyway, enough of that. The next part of my phase would be the buy phase. However, we don't have anything left in our hand, so we cannot buy anything, so we move straight on to the cleanup phase. Discard everything we played, draw back up to our hand size, refill the bait shop. This one just gets discarded, and I think that was the 9 red. This would be the 3 black. That's the 3 green. And now let's see what the AI is going to do. He's going to catch the 3rd position and delete 2 and 4. 2 and 4 and catch the 3rd position. What is it? Flip back over. A 5. Okay. So I think he's only got a 4 and a 5, so we've got an 8. He's beating us by 1 right now. But it's pretty early on. So let's see what the effect is. This time we get +1, so we already have a 3 base power, angler power this turn. And look at my hand. I've got a fall, a reel, minnow, worm, salmon eggs. Let's see. And I know that this was 3 black and I know these are 3-point fish. I don't remember what colors. I think it was black and green. And 3 points is 3 points. I could go for it. My hand is not the greatest. I've got a base of 3, and neither one of these is going to combo very well with my live bait lures. So, I mean, but they do combo with the heavy action rod, so they're giving me 2, which is pretty good. I've already got 3. Knowing that I already have 3, I can actually hook one of these. It might be a good option. Then maybe going after something over here. So 3 points is 3 points. I gotta remind myself that. So let's play the green. I already have 3 power, so I really don't need to play anything else. But I do want to look at what this is. I'm curious to know. Let's do this one. 10 yellow. So I gotta remember that the last card, well, it'll be the 3rd card, maybe even the 2nd card, is a 10 yellow. Okay. And then I'm going to cast, that one was black, this one was green. Wasn't it green? Was it green? Was it green? Yes. Man, I wasn't quite sure if that was a green, but it was. Okay, so this one only rolls a orange die. That's all he rolls. Let's see what he gets. He gets a jump. Tell me I have a jump. I do have a jump. Okay. Let's spend this one to counter that die. And I'll take 3 points. Why not? A fish is a fish in this game. And since this guy bit, I was supposed to put that in the bait bucket before. If a fish bites, place this in the bait bucket, which is the common pull over here that anybody can buy from on their turn. Since it's only solo, I'll be the only one buying, but in multiplayer, this is all fair game. Even if you had the frog, and it would also go there after, but you could just buy it back. That's what you can buy back the live bait lure on the same turn in the buy phase. Okay, so I have 3 money to spend. There's a quick sling, which gives me some more cast attempts, and that's a 3 power, which is a 4 power because of my rod. There's a crankbait that I could get, which generates 2 colors and a +1 power, or the frog, which is a good card as well. And I'm just wondering what I should do. Do I want some more cast attempts? Or do I want another lure? go with the lure. No, let's get some more cast attempts. So let's discard these 3 for the 3 money, and then get this into our hand. Oh, actually, it's only 2 money. Okay, that solves it. I'll just get this because I want all my hands gone. So let's do it like that. F to flip, R to roll, or to shuffle, and then 4 to draw. Okay. Let's fill the big shop. And this guy is gone. I think that was the 3 black. I don't know what that one is. This is the 10 yellow. And let's see what the AI does. And delete that one and that one, and then catch this one, which we have no idea what it is. 5, so we're getting good. He's not catching huge fish, which is very generous for us. And we have only 11 points, and he has more than us, but he only catches 6 fish, so he's already caught 3 of them, and they're pretty low. So unless he starts catching really big ones, I still have a chance. But look at that effect. I have to discard a card in the search phase. That's not great. So which card do I want to discard? Well, the real combo's with our runner crankbait here, so that would give us 3 power. Sets 3 power. Then I gotta look at symbols. Yeah, I don't really know. I'm gonna just discard the pause since I don't have a live bait lure, and it has a yellow thing, but you never know what you're gonna need. So let's see. I could either cast with that or use it for its 2 money. Got a couple paddles, and that frog is just staying there. Maybe the frog's telling me I should buy that frog. I don't know. So let's play this crankbait, and right now that would give us 3 power, and I could use the set to boost it up to 6, or I could just go ahead and use the fall. I think I'm gonna just hold off, and I'll have the option of boosting you up to 3 more power if I find something I want. So we have a yellow and a red casting out here, and that was the 3 black. This was the 10 yellow. I don't know what that one is. Oh, great. Snag. So we lose our lure from play and in the cast phase immediately. So that's a huge bummer. Losing this, I bought it, now I lost it. This poor crankbait just got hung in the bottom or in a tree. It was a bad cast, and I lost it. Bye bye. And then we end the cast phase, so I can't even see what that is. And then the last thing is you delete the event or from the game, from the tournament after we resolve it. And now our options are to buy something. Paddles. Paddles are always good for some card draw. I lost a lure though, so maybe I should go for this frog, and I think that's what I'm going to do. And then spend 2 money to get the frog, and that's it. So let's go ahead and refill. Draw 3, and then this one's going bye-bye. There's a 10 yellow here. I don't know what that one is. I don't know what any of these are. Alright, so we're going to delete the first 2, and then that one's gone. You do get to look at it. It doesn't really matter too much. We could give you some color ideas, but you are allowed to look at it. Okay. So it's our turn. What is the benefit? We get to discard a card to draw a card in the search phase. I wonder if there's a way I could get to 10 here, because I know that's a 10 yellow and I have a yellow lure. Let's discard this set since I already have this hook to draw another card. So what we get We got a black worm. I could use the tackle box. I'm wondering if I even have anything that's that great that would give me up to 10. I don't think I do. Let me think. No, I don't think so. But it's sort of worth a shot. Let's go ahead and do it. Draw 2, flip, shuffle, draw 1. And then we get to keep one of these 3. There's a pitch. That's better than nothing. And then you got the fall, which would boost a dropper there. I'm going to go with the pitch. So I'm going to keep the pitch, and then I'm going to put the popper back on and the fall back on. Okay. And so that would give me a total of 4, 7 power plus 2. So 9. The most I could get is 9. And then I would have 2 cards left over. So I can't go for that one. But it was worth a shot. So let's go with the pitch. No, I'm gonna keep the pitch. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So let's go with the pitch. That gives us 5 power, and what lure should we go with? Let's go with the black lure. And I do not know what any of these 3 are, so I'm just gonna go right down the line. Oh, there's the big fish. He needs a 12, which I cannot get, and a live bait lure. I hope that the angler or the AI does not catch that one. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Any color 4. Well, that's good. I'll take it. And once again, I cast it into something I didn't know, and I hooked him. So it's going to be rolling the white and the orange. And it does have the reroll symbol, so our fish and ski boat will be able to let us reroll if I die if we want. However, it did get a blank, so I have to reroll this one too. And he ends up getting a debris and a jump. This little guy's fighting pretty hard. So a debris and a jump. And I have yes, I have the jump there, the jump on that one, and I have the debris on the lift. Now I could try to re-roll with my fish and ski boat, and I think based on the cards I have in my hand, I'm going to try to re-roll this one because the odds are that I could get a blank, and I just got a jump, so it didn't hurt anything. It's the same result, and I think that's all the mitigation I have. Now you can. This is a good time to bring this up. I could play the lift right now because we're still in the reel phase and use its effect to flip 1 die. So, but it essentially is going to end up being the same result like as if I used it. So so I might as well not do that is the point. So I'm going to play the frog to counter the jump, or discard. I shouldn't say play. I'm going to discard the frog, and I'm going to discard the lift for the debris or yellow symbol. Leaves me with 1 back in my hand, and I do catch this fish. And 1 back in my hand. I'm not going to buy anything. So let's discard everything. This one goes away. That was the 10 yellow. There's the 12 big boy there. And I don't know what the rest of these are. I'm supposed to draw back up to my hand size. And let's see what we got here. There's going to delete that jig. And he's going to get rid of this one, which is what? A 9 green. Well, he didn't go after that one. But can I generate 12 power? Let's see. 1, 3. I have a set. Nah, I'm not gonna be able to go for that one. So I'm gonna go for something over here. Let's go use the minnow. And actually, what do we got? Got paddles, master shot. Master shot is pretty enticing, but I'd have to skip the cast phase to get it. Let's go with the minnow, and not the minnow, the popper, and the reel. So the reel's gonna give me 3 4, 5, 6 with a red. And I have the ability to boost it up if I'd like to as well with the set. So I forgot what I said. 3, 4, 5, 6 red. And let's go right here. See what we got. 7 black. And then right here. 10 red. And even if I played that, I would only get 9. So not quite. But I knew that 7 black, 10 red. This one's going to be going away. So we have 3 money left to spend to buy something. That one's 5, 2, 2, and 5. I'm going to spend 2. I think I'm going to go with 1, 2 to get the paddles. And that's it. Discard that one. Bring them down. And discard this stuff that I played. Draw back up to the hand size. Flip. Shuffle. And draw 2. Alright, let's see what the AI does. And delete that one, and then catch this one. Oh, great. Here we go. So there's a 10-point fish. That's a huge thing. It almost always happens with this AI. You know, he's pretty consistent for a randomly generated number, which is sort of what he is. Man, I tell you what, he consistently catches in the high 40s, and so you have to be on your game to beat him. Now there are times that I've had where he would only score in the 30s, and you have a better shot there. But most of the time he scores very well. So let's see. We're gonna try to score just as good though. So now I gotta try to remember what that card was. I don't remember. I thought it was something yellow and pretty high, but I've forgotten. What is our thing? Okay, so we got 2, 4 as a base, and that's good. 2 and 4. I have a pause, which could boost up to 7 to that minimum. Let's go ahead and play the paddles right off the bat. It allows us to draw a card, and then we can discard a card to draw a card up to 2 times. So am I going to use the fall? I'm not going to use the fall, so let's discard that one. I got my lift, which is a good card to get. Now it's just down to what color I want to use. Let's discard that one. And then get a black. So I could either use a black or a yellow. Now, tackle box. Is there anything that I have in my deck that I'd want right now? I'm trying to think. Did I buy anything that I want? I don't think I have any big cards that I've bought. Can't remember. So, but right now I do have 4 power. This could boost it up to 8, so I'm set pretty good. And I'm gonna go with this yellow and see what this is again. 7 black. Oh man, I used the wrong lure. Should use the black. Okay, but I have 1 more cast, so maybe I'll get lucky. Let's see what this one is. 10 green. I didn't get lucky. Okay, so now I get to buy something. I've got 2, 4, 6 money, and I could get the master shot now. I like that idea. That'll give me some good power. Okay, so that actually is going to give me 6 power because of the heavy action, so I'm definitely going for that. I don't like that I have to get rid of these 2 cards, but I'm going to have to. And the black is kind of useless because that one's going to be going away. So I think I'm going to just discard these and the black lure for 5. Give me a master shot. Discard what I played. Draw back up. Discard. That was a 7 black. 10, oh yeah, 10 green right there. And let's see what we got here. So we can delete that one, and then the 10 green is gone. So now I don't know what anything else is. But even worse, I get +2 in the cast phase, but I don't have a lure. So in this situation, I have to skip the cast phase because I do not have a lure to start off, and I don't even have anything to draw any cards, so I'm not in good position at all for that. So, but I now can buy some good cards though. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 money, so I could buy the net, which is a very good card. Maybe I want to get a frog, another frog. I know I have one already. And some card draw. So let's spin 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 to get this net. And the reason why I'm doing that is because you can lose this card to automatically catch any fish without resolving the fight dice. So they basically, as long as I can hook the fish, I can lose that I'll lose it from my deck, but I get to get the fish. So it allows me a very safe haven to just extend myself all but that card. And so it's very powerful, and that's why I'm going to get it. So that's all I can buy. I know I actually could buy the salmon eggs. Let's do that. I'm going to spin this card to get the salmon eggs because I didn't have a lure. I don't know if that's a good idea, but I'm going to do it. Yeah, because I was going to, the reason why I thought of that is because I was like, oh, I'm probably going to draw one. Sure enough, I did. So let's see. 3. No, not 3. I'm not going to look at the other one. Okay, only 2. Okay. Wait. That was way too many. I did the whole deck. I don't know, sometimes it does that. And I did it pretty fast. I don't know why. So sometimes just the program takes the whole deck instead of just drawing the top card. Okay, so I discard this one. Move us on down. Put us out here. And draw the AI. And he's going to delete paddles. And this action here in the lake, I get to choose which card that he catches. And I don't really remember if I even know what anything is. So let's just go with this one. It's probably going to be a big one. Okay, so it was an event. And when that happens with the AI, you delete it, and then you get to choose. Well, we're already getting to choose, so I get to choose again, essentially. Let's choose that one. Another event. Yay. So if that happens again, this is good that it's happening in the video so you can see it. You just keep going. So might as well go here now. Okay, so he catches the 4. I'm happy with that because that's not a very good fish. Okay, so now it's our turn, and we get -1 in the cast phase, so we have a base of 1. I do have some lures this time, but I don't know what either one of these is. I could go with a frog and just know that I'm going to get it. I could, and how many turns do I have left? I have 3 turns left. However many cards are left in this deck is how many turns you have. So I have exactly 3 turns left. Well, after this one, 3 after this one. So technically like 3.5. So that means I could catch 4 more fish, and I've caught 3. So I think I'm saying all that to say that I kind of want to catch something this turn, so if I can. And the problem I'm going to run into is I've only got 1 power, and I can boost it up to 4. And so it's not even really worth it. So let's go with the salmon eggs, why don't we? And let's throw it out here. 9 black, which I could not have hooked. And what's this one? 10 black. 9 black and a 10 black? Goodness, I ain't anywhere close to that. Okay, so I do have some money this time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 money this time. So let's spend, how much is this one? 3, 2, so let's spend 1, 2 to get the bobber. And that's it. That's all I'm buying. This sort of happened last time. I bought the bobber late. I don't think it's going to work as good as I think it's going to. But who knows? We'll see. Gotta be positive here. So that was the 9 black. This is going to be a 10 black. Maybe I can go for the 10 black this time. Unless the AI catches it. Well, let's see what happens. Okay, so no, he didn't catch it. That's good. So delete that one and the last one, and then he's going to delete this middle one, which is 6 any color. Okay. Now I'm interested to see if I can. What is this? Draw a card. Oh, that's going to help. 1. So, oh yes. Okay, so let's draw our paddles and see what else we got. Can draw into tackle box. I'll take that. Now I can discard a card to draw a card. I'm gonna probably be playing the frog, so this fall is, I'm gonna discard that one to draw a card. I got a reel. Probably gonna discard that one. Draw. That's the last time I can do it. And I got a minnow, so that really doesn't help either. I could use my tackle box to try to get, oh, and I do have that master shot, so I definitely think I'm going to try to draw that one. So 3, and there it is. I'm keeping that one, and I'm going to put the pause and the popper back on top. Okay, so I drew in my master shot, which is what I wanted to do. So that's going to give me 6 power and a base of 2, so I've got 8. All I need is 2 more, so I can put the bobber on. So I like to rotate it. I'm going to put it right here on my rod, and what it says is, okay, so I should have done this before. I'm not going to do the master shot yet. It's still the search phase. During the search phase, attached to your rod and reel, gives you +3, and then during the cast phase, you have to discard it if you ever play a lure without a live bait type. So as long as I play live bait lures, that's going to stay in play and constantly give me that 3 power, which is very very, very good. Now, if I ever use any other type of lure, like this one here, the dropper, it will be discarded. So once you get the bobber, you sort of want to go with a live bait lure setup. So now I will go to the cast phase, play my master shot, and that gives me 6. I wonder if I even need to play the master shot. Let me think. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I do. So it's 6, 7, 8. So I do have 11 power. And I can cast to this guy, which is a 10 black, I believe. And that's where I'm going to go. 10 black. Yay. So he does the frog. He takes the frog, and so he'll go over here to the bait bucket. He does have the reroll symbol, so I can reroll 1 fight die this turn, which might help. I have a few cards to mitigate. So before I use the net, it says you may lose this card to automatically catch any fish without resolving the fight dice. The reason why I put resolving there is so because you can roll the dice first to see if you want to use this net. So that's the reason why. So let's roll all of them. We might as well. He's going to reroll any. Oh, that's great. Any blanks, but he didn't get any blanks. Now we have the pop, so thank goodness we have a reroll. Let's reroll that one. I got another pop. Oh man, what are the chances of that? There's only one side with it on there. Okay, so after all of that, I'm going to go ahead and lose this net from the game to catch this fish. So let's delete it. That's the reason why I got that net, because I knew that at some point in the game it was going to come in to play where I could just delete it. So for $5, I essentially caught a 10-point fish. even though that gets removed from my deck. How many turns left? We only have 2 turns left anyway, so it's getting down to the wire. I've got 2 money left. I'm gonna buy back my frog because there's no reason not to. So give me that frog. So because I'm gonna be comboing with that bobber, discard everything that I played. Draw those 3, and I'll need to draw 1 more. Flip, shuffle 1. I need to stop moving it every time, but I've been moving it. Okay. If you're playing multiplayer, that wouldn't be a big deal. But okay, so we have 2 more turns left, so it does matter the bait shop row. This card's going to go away. These are going to slide down. Man, I feel very good that I have a chance to win, but we'll see what happens these last 2 turns, though. Okay, so delete here, delete there, and he's going to get rid of this one. Okay, what is it? Oh, it's a snag. So that's good. Now, when you remove the card, instead of catching it, you don't go to another one if it's an event. That's only if he actually catches it. So let's see. Now what are we going to do? Look at this. So we get to scan a lake spot, which is very good for us. This is all fortunate. It's all working out. All the stars are aligning. I'm going to win this time, I think. So I get to scan this. What is this? 7 green? I actually am pretty happy with 7 points right now. And I've got a base of 5 right off the bat. So I only need to play this pause with the what did I say that was? Green? Green. So that would give me an 8 power, since that's 1, 2, 3 from the rod. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I've got this thing can catch anything. So let's go ahead and cast here. I'm not going to gamble with that frog because that frog's going to be very enticing. Something's going to get it. So let's go with the green and orange and purple. He does not have the reroll symbol. So, but he didn't get any blanks. So I need to counter a yellow debris and a red boat. Can I do it? And I can do it. I can do it because this one can get the red, and that one can, this one can get the red, and this one can get the yellow. And folks, I ended up getting a 7-point fish, and that is great. I have 1 more turn. If I can catch 1 more fish, I probably am going to win. So, I was supposed to get rid of that one. The problem, one of the things that I wish I could have done was buy that frog back, but I only have 1 money, and so I can't do it. That stinks, but it's just how it goes. And then now the bait shop road does not matter because I can't buy anything, and it does not matter what happens. Let's go ahead and draw back up to 4. We're not going to do the bait shop row. We'll get rid of that. Slide these down. And see what he does. What is he going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Oh, he's going to catch this one. So what is he going to get? Oh, hotspot. So since it's an event, it's my choice. And you know what? I don't know what any of them are. So eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by its tail. If he hollers. Okay. I'm just going to go with that one. 7. Ha ha ha. So he's going to put up a real good fight because 7 is a good fish. I mean, I would really go with this for a 7 right now if I can get it. But I don't know what anything is out there. There's no clock effect this turn, so I don't get any benefit. I don't get any negative either because there are 3 of them that give you negative things. I have 3 lures in my hand, which is never really that good because they don't generate any power. But I do have a base of 5, and this set could get me up to 8. The pitch could get me up to 8 as well, and then that could get me to 11. I think I'm going to just hold off since I don't know what any of them are. The odds that I pick the right lure are very slim. Now, what if I caught? Maybe if I go with, Now, if I go with a popper, the bobber is going to get discarded. So I'm going to that sort of narrows my options to either the yellow or the black. I don't remember seeing many yellows, but let's go with black. Come on, worm. I want the worm to catch a fish. It's catching a fish on the picture, so come on. Give me a fish. Give me a fish. That's 5 black, and I can boost it to 8. That's the cool thing about the hook. You can hold it in your hand and wait for the opportune time. What are the chances that this is a black 8? It's a green 5. Okay. What are the chances that this one is something that I can get? Or should I go with that one? This one or that one? I'm going to go with this one. Oh. What if I would have went with this one? What would it have been? Okay. So it wouldn't have mattered. They're both red, and I cannot attract that with... I could have got it with the popper. So I didn't catch anything on the last turn. Bummer. So the tournament is over. It is 5 p.m. Everybody has come back to the marina in their boats. Nobody was late. Everybody showed up on time, and everybody's going to the weigh-in and see who won the tournament. In this tournament, there's only 2 people, but let's see who won. I think I caught 5 fish, which is not bad for this this setup because it's a very difficult one. And I got some pretty decent ones. I got a 10, 7, 8, 4, 3. So that's 25, 32, right? Yeah. So I got 32 points, which is the highest I scored out of all 3 games I played this evening. The other one was 29. The first one was a 19. 19, 29, 32. So at least I'm going up. But he catches 6. I can't talk. He catches 6 fish, so he's caught more than me. It just depends on how high his are. And that 10 is going to really help us, isn't it? So, okay, so he has 2 5s, 2 4s. So we got 10, 27 plus 8. 27 and 8, what is that? That's right, it's 35. 27 and 8, 35. And then what I said, I had 32, right? So he beat me 35-32. Oh man, I'm gonna get him someday on this setup. 35-32. My goodness. If I could have caught anything that last hand, I would at least tied. That's just how it goes. Sometimes you catch them, sometimes you don't. And that's tournament fishing, the deck building game. I hope you enjoyed this setup. It's a little bit different. If you played the normal game a lot, you can switch over to this and have even more of a challenge. And even in multiplayer, especially like 2-player, my wife and I play this one, and it's actually really fun as well. Because everything's sliding, and you're really having to use your brain to figure out where the stuff moved to. So it's a challenge. It's just an extra level of difficulty, another way to play the game, which I always think is great for games like this that are not like gigantic games that have huge scenarios and campaigns. This is just sort of a one-off game that you could play on a weekend. It's not a feeler game because it's got some mechanics that are more complex than a filler game. And it's a little longer. Like, these videos have been an hour. I can play a game in 30 minutes if I'm not talking out and planning everything out. But for I would say it plays about 30 minutes a player. So when me and my wife play, it's about an hour. So if you play 3-player, it'll be about an hour and a half. 4-player is about 2 hours. That's just how it goes. It's about 30 minutes a player. So it's not a short game. It's not a filler game. But my point is that when you have games like this, it's nice to have a different way to play it with the same stuff. It uses the same thing. It's just a different set of rules. And I like that. I like games like that find ways to make the game different with the same components, but just in a little bit different angle. So that's what I tried to do with this. And what's cool about it is it actually follows the theme as well, because it's a river. And rivers, as you know, go down. They flow downstream. So that's what that's what the mechanics are in this. So anyway, after all of that talking, it's just went over the hour mark on this video, so I better stop. So long. I'm going to use Rahdo's line because I like watching Rahdo. So long. Bye-bye.